If you've played Cyberpunk 2077 for any length of time, you've probably noticed this guy around the Corpo Plaza, and there's also some other miniature versions of this statue dotted around Night City. Well, today I'm going to be talking about the Magenta mystery in Cyberpunk 2077, and if it actually is something or just massive speculation. My name's Mike, you're watching Deconstructing the Game. Let's get to it. Okay, so just to be clear, everything around this statue and the mystery around this statue is pretty much all speculation at this point, and there isn't really any tangible evidence, but I hope you'll stick around to hear about what my theories are and what I've found so far. Dotted around Night City are various miniature statues like these guys, who kind of look like crabs crossed between people with 4 arms. It's a little bit strange, and you can also find smaller versions of these statues around the city in people's houses. But if you go to the Corpo Plaza around Arasaka Tower, you will find a bigger version of that statue on top of a pedestal with a computer tablet in front of it and a very interesting code, FF06B5. Now initially, if you Google this code, it will come up as a hexadecimal code for Magenta. Now we all know that there's a larger statue in Cyberpunk 2077 around Japantown, which is a magenta version of this guy. However, he has legs and he's dressed up in monk robes, but we'll get to that in a second. If you don't know about this code or what the colour means, you're probably going to want to snoop around and have a look at the actual statue here, and you'll notice some small details like the legs, the crest at the front that looks like weird lines. To me, that could suggest life paths for V and what you choose. They're carrying a dagger or a machete, and in the other hand, they have a sphere of some kind. The other hand is just held up. Now, for any of you who are familiar with Hindu kind of history or the religious side of Hinduism, you'll notice that this kind of looks like Ganesh or Mangala. These guys are pretty heavily involved with Mars, especially Mangala. Mangala and Ganesh look very similar, but Mangala is the god of Mars and anger, and we'll get to that towards the end of the video. If you're inspecting this statue with your scanner, or you're just looking to investigate what it is, you're not going to find an awful lot to go on. There's nothing to scan, there's nothing to see, and in fact it's pretty bare in the way of clues and things to interact with. So it's pretty much a no-go area. You can find this statue in the game as you're doing a mission with Takamura, and you have to get into an Arasaka building, a warehouse, and find this float statue. You can also access this statue in the missions where you're jumping around the rooftops of Japantown, taking out the snipers. And I'll try not to give you any spoilers in case you're still waiting for the game to be fixed, because there are still issues in this game. If you clip into the statue, you're not going to see anything, it's just an open space. People have also clipped into it with PC commands, but that doesn't necessarily mean there isn't anything there, and we'll get to that towards the end of the video as well. The bigger statue is near Japantown at the Cherry Blossom Market, and it is holding 2 magenta spheres. He's dressed up like a monk and he has legs. There's also a base at the bottom which I've clipped into, and again there's nothing there to see, but that doesn't necessarily mean there isn't anything there. There are also monks that appear at the statue, as well as the statue at Corpo Plaza, and there's a minor mission in the game which requires you to rescue a monk for his brother. There are 2 possible outcomes to that mission, and you will later see the monks at the base of this statue here at the Cherry Blossom Market. Now, that outcome may weigh heavily on if this Easter egg exists and if you can access that Easter egg. You may also have to keep Takamura as a companion towards the end of the game and meet a certain type of criteria in order to have a chance at accessing any Easter egg or mystery there might be. But it did get me thinking. In other videos that I've talked about DLC and cut content, I've spoken about possible future Mars content. Now that was purely based on the fact that outside of the city, in the desert land, there is a massive extended area of land that goes far beyond Night City, and it does look very Martian in landscape. Couple that with the fact there are news reports about Miltech colonizing Mars and having boots on the ground already in news reports, that adds a little bit of weight. So could we in fact see some kind of Total Recall-esque gameplay where you have two worlds in the balance, Earth and Mars, and that could be what this statue represents. The two planets in balance with each other, you are very much in the middle. Going back to me saying just because there's nothing inside the statue base doesn't mean to say there's anything. There isn't anything there. There could be something in the statue base, because if you glitch into Arasaka Tower, you'll notice this square pool of water. Now, there's nothing there. It's just a pool of water. However, if you meet a certain criteria, i.e. do the mission where you breach Arasaka Tower, this is where Mikoshi is. So Mikoshi should be sitting in front of us, gigantic server room with cables and stuff, and it's not there because you've glitched into that. Maybe the statues require a certain criteria to open via the computer panel at the statue base, or maybe you have to reach certain criteria with having a certain amount of completion, having a certain time of day, a certain weather. We've all seen games like Grand Theft Auto 5 or Red Dead Redemption, or indeed other games where there is a crazy requirement of criteria to unlock these secrets and mysteries, and potentially that's all it is. But my personal and strong belief is that this is kind of a little point in the direction of a Mars DLC. That is pretty much all I have to say, apart from of course all the stuff I've actually tried in order to unlock this so-called mystery or Easter egg. I've tried using the Magenta filters on different statues, on the code and other statues around the city. I've tried glitching inside the statues. I've tried waiting inside the hands of the statues at different times of day, and so far nothing's happened. I've tracked down quite a lot of smaller statues to see if they face in a particular direction, if there's any markings. As I said at the start of the video, the front markings suggest to me possible life path options for V that put you in the direction of a certain ending. The spheres to me look like planets, you know, in the balance, so I strongly believe this is a Mars DLC. However, there could be something under the base of the Corpo Plaza statue as well. It looks far too inviting, you know, that statue on that kind of raised up platform. It looks very boxy, like maybe it opens up into a staircase from that computer panel. I honestly don't know. You might have to play a certain life path. You might have to play Corpo to unlock that, or, you know, do missions in a certain way. Ally with certain people instead of, you know, going against them. I honestly don't know. Everything's speculation, but I'm trying to crack the mystery as best I can. I'm currently playing through again as a Corpo. I'm going to try and do everything right this time and ally with certain people in a certain way. I know those monk brothers appear at the statue, and unfortunately for me, I was trying to do other things and I ran past him, and V made some kind of backhanded comment which I didn't quite hear, so I can't go back and reload that file to see what was going on. All I can do is move forward with the new save file and see if I can unlock anything further. Certainly there's not much on Reddit or Google that can help me along, but if you guys have any theories or ideas, be sure to let me know. and I'll see what I can do. This is on an Xbox console, this is not on a PC, so it's limited as to what I can do. I can't dig into any files, I can't data mine. I'm just playing the game as is and exploiting it as best as I can. And of course, there's always a possibility that this in itself is cut content or underdeveloped or hasn't been added yet and will be added. It could be a future mission, it could have been a cut mission. There's always that possibility as well. I hate to sound like a broken record, but anything is possible in this industry and especially with this game. If you've enjoyed the video, please let me know. If you dislike the video, feel free to fire suggestions through. It's been a while since I made a video, so I've had to learn everything all over again. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll be putting some videos up in the near future. I will catch you later.
Moving from below the Earth to above it, Militech has announced plans to establish a new colony on the Red Planet. The proposed base will be subdivided into 3 areas: industrial, scientific, and residential. 10 residential modules are already available for purchase at a starting rate of €100 million. A hefty price, yes, but can you truly put a price on your security?